Good afternoon, learners of Free State and teachers of Free State. Today, you are going to listen to the structure of the paper of Mathematical Literacy, Paper 1, that will be written on the 4th of November 2022 by Memonahela TV. Now you must know the following things. The paper that you are going to write, it will be 3-hour paper. And when it will be 3-hour paper, which means it will be 180 minutes. And then on that particular paper, as it is, teachers are not allowed to be there up until 12 o'clock, after 12. Now you must know the following things. Paper 1 has changed. It's no more as previously. It started last year, now is the second year we are going to write it. You must know the following things on the changes of the paper. This paper of us, it might have 4 or 5 questions on it. And you must know that the cognitive levels, they have changed. Previously we have 1 up until 3. Now we have level 1, level 2, level 3, and also level 4 questions. Because now they have included it. Because of the way it has changed. And the way it has changed, there are certain topics that has changed on it. We're only going to write paper 2 with 2 topics, which will be data handling and finance. Probability will appear there on that particular paper of us. And if it is like that, the main topics of us, it will be finance and data handling. And my dear learners, you must know the following things about levels of taxonomy. The level of taxonomy number 1 are the things that you know. They are going to ask you the things that you know. And on those particular things that you know, you need to answer them. And the second one, you know them. You are only going to apply the routine procedure in a familiar context of them. And you must know these particular levels of us. They have marks again. Like level 1, it has 45 plus or minus 45 marks. The second one, it has plus or minus 45 marks. And the third one, which will be the level of that, it will be applying multi-step. By saying multi-step, you must know that sometimes they will be asking a question on a certain question. That answer, you are going to use this on the next question. And also you are going to use on the next question. That is a multi-step, which means the answer that you receive from another question, you are going to use it to the next one up until you finish that particular subsection. The other one that is new, that will be a reasoning one. That learners think that it is difficult. No. Learners, they are not difficult. It's a reasoning and also reflecting. At the end, it's either you are going to show. After showing, you conclude that particular statement of us on that particular question. On the same thing, there will be also weighting on them. And this particular weighting of us, you must know that you are going to write a final one. And this particular final one, paper 1, the finance of us is just only plus or minus. It can be 90 full from 150, 50, 90 marks. And you will be left with only 60 marks on that. And that particular 60 marks, it can go to data handling. Plus or minus, maybe 53 or less than 53 on data handling. And probability, you must know that always probability will be there. That can be plus or minus 7 marks. And my dear learners, the total of this particular paper will be 150. And when it will be 150, you must know the following percentages. Finance on the whole paper is just only 60%. And data handling on the paper, it will be 35% of 100%. And probability, it will be only 5%. Those are the things that you need to know. And you must know the following things. On that particular questions, I said to you it can be 4 questions or 5 questions. Let us talk about 5 questions that you'll be having. The first question always is about finance and data. And when it will be finance and data, you must know that all those questions will be level 1 only. And the marks there, it can be 2, it can be 1, it can be 2, others can be 3. And my dear learners, the marks will be 30 marks. And question 2, finance only. And this question 2 of finance only, it will be from level 1 up until level 4. The total mark, it can be plus or minus 42 marks of it. And question 3, it will be data handling only. Level 1 up until level 4, plus or minus 32 marks. Sometimes it can be 28, sometimes it can be 30, sometimes it can be 32, sometimes it can be 35. And then question 4, it will be finance and data handling. And this particular finance and data handling, they are going to be integrated. And when they are integrated, which means they are going to ask questions related to data using finance. They are going to go along together. And it will be questions from level 1 up until level 4, plus or minus 26 marks. It can be 22, it can be 26, it can be 28. And then the last question will be question 5, which will be finance, data handling, or integrated for both of them, level 1 and level 4. Or a particular place, or they can ask you about, on a finance, they can ask you about what will be the probability of either this one will be a bank statement, maybe service fees, or debit account. They can ask you about it. The second one, on the first way, they can say, write this particular probability in weights. If they talk about weights, you must know that probability starts from 0 up until 1. Immediately when it is more than 1, you must know that it is not a probability. And from 0, before it ends at 0.5, you must know that it will be impossible. It will be likely impossible. And that one, it will be impossible at 0. And at 0.5, it will be 50-50, which will be even. And from 0.5 up until before it reaches 1, you must know that it can be likely to happen. And at 1, it can be certain. Those are the things that you need to know about them. If they are saying, write it in weights. My dear learners, you mustn't write 0. If they are saying it will be impossible, you say none. There is nothing like none in that is saying 0. You must either write 0 or 0% or impossible. You mustn't write none. There is nothing like probability that is written like none. The other one is to state the meaning of the terms associated with the probability. Either the event or the outcome of it. Either it was good on it. The above are level 1 questions, and they are always being asked in question 1. And the second way of a probability of us is to express probability of an event using a fraction. You must know that immediately the fraction of yours, it should be the small number divided by the bigger number. It should not be the bigger number divided by the small number, because it can give you more than 1. And 1 is not a probability. And then the other one, it will be a decimal notation. Even decimal, it should not give you 1 comma. It should give you 0 comma. Or 1 comma 0. When it gives you 1 comma 0, it will be certain. But if it is more than 1 comma 0, it will be 1 comma 1 or 1 comma 0 1, 1 comma 0. It is not probability. And the other one is a percentage. And then the other one, it will be identify all possible outcomes of a particular event, like rolling the dice. Or sometimes you are choosing cars based on the colors and the mate, like a two-way table. When it is like that, my dear learners, it will be outcomes and it will be based on the games. You must look at what are the possible outcomes. Like a dice, when you use it, 2 of them, they will give you 6 and 6, and the outcomes of them, they will be 36. And they are going to ask you about that question based on that. And then the other one, always this particular second way, you must know that they are going to be asked in a level 2 questions. And it's either in question 2, question 3, and question 4, and also question 5. The third way of questions of probability will be completing a simple two-way table and use them to calculate probability. Like if they are saying there are 3 colors of a car, and then there is different types of models of a car, you need to match them. From there, they ask you a question about it. The other one is to draw a tree diagram. A tree diagram, it can happen by clothes of the learners. Or sometimes it will be a game. Either 2 teams will be playing. Either that particular game is either you win, or you lose, or you draw. From there, they will tell you there are how many games that are going to be played. So from there, you will conclude there will be how many games there. And you must know the following things. When you calculate for that particular probability, you must know it will be level 3 questions. And will also be asked either in question 2, question 3, question 4, and question 5. The other main topic that I'm going to talk about, it will be finance. That its own percentage is 60%. That its own marks is 90 marks. You must know the following things. There will be possible content on them. Questions, they will range from level 1 up until level 4, which means they are going to start with easy one and then up until they reach difficult one. What are those particular finance topics, finance content? Financial document. On financial document, you must know all the financial documents like bank statements, account, clothing account, and also invoice. It's a type of financial document. Most of answers of the financial document, they are there. You must know how to read your financial document. You must know the date of it. and what is happening on that particular financial document before you go to the questions. And you must know that answers for financial document are there on the financial document. You need to read them. And you must know how to explain the meaning of terms like debit or credit. And you must know this, debit and credit of a bank statement and also of a clothing account, they are not the same. Same applies to a credit card account. They differ. That's why I'm saying you must read, check the statement that the financial document that they have given you. And my dear learners, you must know another thing it will be, you must show how other values are being calculated. Others will be missing. But you must know that there are others that are there. You must use those that are there. How did they find it? But you are going to calculate that one that are missing. So that you must check whether you are in a correct way. By doing that, reading that financial document and also concluding and calculating it, you will get to the answer of those, how did they find that value. The second content, it will be tariffs, municipality rates, water tariffs, electricity, telephone, transport. You must know that taxi tariffs and bus tariffs, they are not the same. Sometimes they can give you and say compare them. And telephones again, you must know we have different types of networks. Telkom, MTN, Vodacom, and Cell C. They can give you that one. And they can also talk about peak and off-peak time. You must know those particular things. When it comes to electricity, other electricity, there are other electricity of prepaid and other electricity that you pay at the end of the month. That one that have a fixed cost, which means no matter what, when you pay electricity, there is a fixed cost before you use electricity. And you must know how to read the table of electricity. Others, it has a minimum and also maximum. If you can know those particular interval, tariffs of electricity and water will be easy for you. And you must know that there will be graph of water and electricity. They are not the same as others. The water and electricity is like a step graph because they are having intervals. The other content is taxation. About taxation, you must know personal income tax. And you must know that this particular personal income tax, it should be calculated based on taxable income, not gross income. Gross income, it has non-taxable. And you must know that personal income tax, it will have tax bracket. And this particular tax bracket itself, you must know how to read it. It has a minimum amount and maximum amount. And each bracket, it has its own calculations. And there are certain things that you need to know when it comes to tax bracket, like rebates, tax threshold, and medical credits. The other thing is about VAT, value added tax. There are those things that you pay tax, and there are those things that you do not pay tax. And don't forget, other companies also pay tax, value added tax, at South African Revenue Service. You must know the following, those things. UIF, you must also know it. And by knowing it, you must know that it will be employer and employee, and you must know its own percentage. The other things from it is an income, expenditure, profit, loss, budget for large organization. If we talk about income and expenditure, it's where either it will be a business, this person is making a business of making cakes. This person is going to spend before the business starts, before selling. From there, there will be a selling price. From there, this person needs to make a profit. If there is no profit, there will be a loss. If there is no loss, this person, based on the budget, you must not start from the beginning, it will be expenses. And on that particular profit, that person needs to have a budget so that he might check whether his own or her own business is making a profit or a loss. The other thing is cost price and selling price and break-even analysis and also drawing the graph. You must know that the costs or the expenditure graph, it starts on the y-axis, but selling it starts at 0. Why that one starts at the y-axis? Spending first, which will means fixed cost was there. And you must know that sometimes the cost price, in the beginning, the graph of the cost price, it starts above the selling price graph, which means on the graph, you must know that it happens after break even, where cost and selling price are equal, and according to the context. If they talk about context, if they talk about James, it's selling cookies, it should be about James' cookies, not according to your own understanding. It should be related to the context. The other one is, we are still continuing with the finance. Interest. Simple and compound. You must know that simple one, its own interest, it remains the same for that period. But compound, it's where the original amount and interest, and also the interest and the interest. And always you must know that the original amount is 100%. If they say it will be compounded, you are going to say plus that. And the percentage of us, always if they have given you 6% per annum, always per annum, per annum, per annum. If they are saying compounded monthly, that per annum, you are going to divide according to the months. You are not going to use it as it is. You need to divide that 6 of us with 12. It will be per annum. Quarterly, it will be 6 divided by 4. Daily, it will be 6 divided by 365 or 366. Or you will check there are how many days that they have given you. If it is weekly, you must know that in a year we have 52 weeks. Banking. When it comes to banking, you must know that we have our own bank fees and other bank fees. Either this particular bank, I'm using Absa Bank, I'm going to withdraw money at Standard Bank. You must know that the charges will not be the same. Always read the information that they have given you on that banking charges. If they are saying they charge R1.50 per 100 rand, now you check, they have given you 900. How much are you going to pay? You can take that particular bank charges saying, for the first 100, it will be 1 rand 50. For the second one, 1 rand 50. For the third one, 1 rand 50. It's better to go long way rather than going shorter way. Because on the long way, it will be 1 rand 50 for the first 100 rand, 1 rand 50 for the second. At the end, you will get the correct answer. And if it talks about percentage, check whether that percentage is related to how much. If they talk about part of, you must know that 900 will be 900. But if it says 950, on that one of 1 rand 60 for 950, you are only going to pay 1 rand 50 for 900 rands. But 50 rand, you are not going to pay it. But for 950, if there is a part of that 50 rand, you are going to pay for it. Which means you must know how to compare these two things. The other one will be part of, the other one will not have a part of. The other one is loan and investment. This loan, it's going to go along either with payment of compounded or simple interest. My dear learners, check whether that interest of yours is related to the context. And investment of yours, you must check whether these two, the other one, it will be simple or it is a compound. Compound, you must know that it will be 100 plus. And it will be easy for you if you say 100 plus. Because your money, or that money that you are going to talk about, you will be adding it percentagely. And when it is in a percentage way, you are going to change it to be a fraction. From there, from fraction, it becomes decimal. From decimal, it will be easy for you just only to take the original amount of money to that and calculate and get the answer. And then, hire purchase. You must know how to analyze a single purchase agreement. The other one, it will be analyzing and comparing different payment options. On this particular one of high purchase, is either it's where you are going to say comparing cash price and buying with an installment. They will be saying compare the two. Which one will be cheaper? Which one will be expensive? At the end, you conclude. The other topic, it will be inflation. You know, COVID. Inflation is increasing every year. And you must check it. And it will always be related as increase percentage or decrease percentage. If it is increase, you are going to say plus. If it says decrease, you are going to say minus. And it will be easy for you to answer it. The other content, it will be exchange rates. And when they talk about exchange rates, they are taking information from another country to our own country, comparison of the exchange rate. You are going to write exchange rate in a given format, which means the question that you are going to be given, if they are saying $1 is equals to 10 rand 50 South African rands, is the way they have given you. But if they are saying 1 rand to US dollar, it will be according to that. Using the given exchange rate to determine the value of another country. Sometimes they can give you 30,000 of Ghanaian dollar. From there, you are going to compare it with South African amount of money, which means you change that Ghanaian to South African currency. That is where. And sometimes they will be asking that question based on level 2, level 3, and also level 4 question. Another one, which will be the second main topic, data handling. There are possible content on it. And the question range from level 1 up until level 4. Easy to difficult questions. You must know that question 1, they use a simple data set, level 1 question. Maybe they can arrange numbers there. From there, they will ask you certain question. Easy one, simple one. Question 3 and question 4 or question 5. They are going to say collect data represented on the table or on the graph. The other one, it will be using the big values like billions and millions. My dear learners, they write this word of billions and millions. You as a learner, you need to know billions, it has how many zeros. Millions have how many zeros. That number of yours, you multiply by that 1 million, that 2 billion or 1 billion. And the other one is collecting data. There are 3 ways to collect data: interview, observation, and questionnaire. The other one is to classify the data of us. It's either categorically or numerically. Numerical data, it will be a discrete or continuous. And you must know that classifying data, it will be either by sampling or by population. Population is when they use all. By sampling, if they take only a portion from that. The other one is arranging data in descending or ascending. And when you must know that descending is when you start from the bigger number to the smallest number. Ascending is from the smaller number to the bigger number. And my dear learners, decimal numbers, learners, they do not know that 0,86 and 0,764. 0,86 is bigger than 0,64. They think that if this one, it has 3 decimal, this one, it has 2 decimal, is bigger than this one. Check numbers. 8 is bigger than 7. 7 is smaller than 8. I'm still continuing with data handling. Summarizing data. You must know, nowadays they are using central tendency, the word central tendency. You need to identify the minimum number and also the maximum value. They can say minimum number or maximum number or minimum value or maximum value. The other one is the mean. Mean is sum of all divided by number of them. Median is when you arrange them in ascending order, not in descending. On ascending order, you will get the middle number. Because when you arrange them in descending, the middle number will not be accurate. The other one, it will be the mode, the number that appears more than others. And you must know how to explain these things. Sometimes they give you a missing value. From there, they give you mean. Start taking that mean and multiply with number of them. From there, you subtract others. Median, sometimes they write A. From there, they say this one is this and this. You must know that either that one median is that one that you can get it easily. When the numbers, you can separate them into 2. The other one is where you cannot separate them into 2. They always give you a missing value about a median. When numbers, you cannot separate them. They want you to find that value. Summarizing data, you must know the range. And when they talk about the range, is the highest minus the lowest value. And don't mix range with the interquartile range. Those two are not the same. The range is the one that comes from the original. The starting one and the ending one. Maximum value minus minima. Now we go to the quartile. You share this data of yours. Firstly, in 2 halves. You check 50, the median. From there, it will be the time you go to the left to check 25%, which will be the middle one. And then you go to the right. You check again the middle one. And that one on the right, that one on the left, it will be quartile 1. The second one, it will be quartile 2, which will be the median. The other one will be quartile 3. If they talk about interquartile range, it will be Q3 minus Q1. The other thing is percentile. You must know the following things about percentile. Interpretation only. You are not going to, using growth chart, you are only going to use a growth chart, interpreting it. Either this child is length, his body size, just like that. The other thing on the data handling, you must know outlier. You are going to identify it. It doesn't mean it will be the last number. It can be the beginning number. You must check the interval of the data that they have given you. If they are saying 2, from there they say 100, 500, 600, 700. 2 is not close to 100. That 2 will be the outlier of that because we are talking about hundreds. I'm still continuing with data handling. You must know how to represent the data on the graphs. Bar graph. The other one, double bar graph. The other one is the stacked bar graph. The other one is pie chart, histogram, line and broken line graph, and scattered plots. Let me talk about stacked bar graph. Stacked bar graph they can give you. From there they say this one is for males and female. Total of them it will be 22. From there we know they give you female, that will be 12. You must know from that 22 you are going to subtract 12 to get 10, that will be males. And also there will be indicators that represent males and also female. It doesn't mean that 22 is for all, is for only males. You must check it. The other one is box and whisker plots. You are not going to draw it. You are only going to interpret it. By interpreting it, if it goes to the left, you must know what is happening about the scenario. If it goes to the right, you must know what is happening about it. And you must check the 5 things: minimum, maximum, quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. That one will give you an information about it. Whether, if they talk about the results, whether learners did good or did bad. And comparing them, maybe they can give you 2 classes. The other one, it will be 12A, the other one will be 12B. Maybe 12A didn't perform well. It went to the left. 12B, it went to the right. Majority of them, they pass with 50%. From there, you are going to compare them. You must check whether when it went to the left and when it went to the right, there is something that is speaking. And you must write, explain to us, interpret it for us. The other things are basic skills topics. My dear learners, they can say, write numbers in words. You must check these numbers in words, whether it's money. When it is money, rands of money of South Africa, you must know we have rands and cents. Please don't write a comma. on money of South Africa. If it is account number, you must know that you are going to say, if it is 1378, when you write it, you are not going to say 1378. You are going to say 1378 because it's an account number. It's the same as PIN number. But money, don't put a comma. Writing the number in full without the word billion. I said if they have given you 1,4, they say million. This 1,4, you are going to say 1,4 multiply by 1, and then you write 6 zeros. And when it is like this, it will be 1, this particular 4, it will be now 400, and then 1,000. It will be 1,400,000. You write it in full, not in words, not using the word billion or million or thousands. That is how they want it. The other one is rounding. Rounding is either you round up or you round down. You must know that you round up after when you get 5, when you get 6, 7, 8, 9. But rounding down, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that one. And you must know that if they are saying round it to the nearest 1,000, it needs thousands. If they are saying round it to the nearest 10, you must check at tens. If they are saying round it to the nearest 100, you must check it. That number is ranging between 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's where you are going to take it up. When it is less than, when it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you must know that it remains the same. The only number that you take out, it will be that number. Now we go to the ratio, another one. The ratio, you must know order, the way they ask you a question about it, order of it. And that order, it should remain the same way. If they are saying female is to male, and they are saying female, there are 12, males, there are 10. Don't create your own ratio by writing 10 is to 12. Just only checking 10 is small, 12 is bigger. No, write it as it is. If they are saying write it in a simpler form, that particular 12 is to 10, and they give you that female should be 1, which means you are going to divide both of them by 12. And that 10, you divide it by 12. That 12 divided by 12, it will be 1. And that 10 divided by 12, it will be 0, comma. That one, we call it unit ratio. And this ratio of us, also there is a simple one. And on the simple one, on the same 12 is to 10. You must know that 1 and 2, and also it ends from there. You are not going to take 1 and then you use again 2. No, use 2 in both of them because it's the bigger one. It will be simpler. It will be understandable. Same applies to 150 and 125. 150 and 125, my dear learners. Check which number enters in both of them. The bigger one. Don't take 5. From 5, you use another number, which will be 2. The another number, this. Take the bigger number. If it is 2 enters, 2 doesn't, 5 enters, and also 25 enters in both of them. Check it. 50 doesn't enter in both of them, which means 25 will be the one that is going to enter in both of them. So which means 25 will be, don't go step, long steps when it comes to ratio to simplify it. Take the bigger. Look at numbers that enters in both of them. Write them. From there you check the bigger one. That will be the one that you are going to use. And always show calculations. Don't write only answers. Show calculations. Because sometimes your answer, you are going to write it. Maybe you forgot to write 4. You were supposed to write 154. From there you write 15. You thought that you wrote 4. You are going to lose a mark just only about 4. But if you have shown calculations, it can be easy for you. Percentage. You must know that percentage starts from 1 up until 100%. If they talk about increase, it will be 100 plus. At the end, after calculating, that amount of money will be returning to be 100%. Please know those particular things. And you mustn't round just only. You must look at the context again. Some other roundings is based on the context. When they talk about context, they are saying round to 100, round to the nearest 10, round to the nearest cent, round it to the nearest 100,000. But rounding again, it also appears on the instruction of the question paper. The second page, read that particular instructions carefully before you write. And my dear learners, you must know that the paper that you are going to write, if you practice it, you are going to pass. And the following things you must have: calculator. On Friday when you go and write, check your calculator. And you must use a calculator that you always use to practice. Because that calculator, it will assist you to answer this question paper. And you must go and do the best on that paper. Calculator and pens. You must have pen and pencil. On that scenario, each question, read. Firstly, you will not understand it. Secondly, read it. You will understand. From there, you underline the key words on that scenario. After underlining them, read it again. And after reading it again, ask yourself questions. What can be asked related to the topics, the things that you did inside the class. From there, it will be the time you go to the questions. And when you go to the questions, you must know the following things. Answers are there on that scenario. And you are going to pass. You must know the following things. MTN is running a competition. Now I'm going to ask you a question related to what I have said. To answer the following question, you must go to any Free State Department of Education social media page. And this particular question of mine will be as follows. I have 0.76, 0.813, 0.834, and 0.765. Can you please go and round this to the nearest 10th 100 decimal? To the nearest 100 decimal, which means 0.76, 0,813, 0,834, and 0,765 to the nearest 100th decimal. That will be the question for you. You are going to win MTN water bottle and also MTN handband. I thank you. I just wishes you best on the paper that you are going to write on Friday. Go and do the best. Congratulations.